Hello, everyone. Today is October the 2nd, Thursday, second day of the Q4 quarter, usually the best quarter of the year. But we'll see what happens with the shutdown. Shutdown now is in day two. I am not a financial advisor, so this is for educational purposes only. Let's take a look real quick at, by the way, the time is 12:10, so it's after noon, a little bit later than normal because I've been working on a few things. So let's take a look real quick, see what the market's doing. Decline, but not much of one early on. Feels worse because normally we go up, right? But went down instead. But starting to come back. Technology is carrying the weight today. These are the aggressive sectors, and technology is the only one that's up. Discretionary and communications are down. For the defensive area, they're all pretty much down right now. And the cyclicals, healthcare's hanging in there, but everything else, even energy, which had a great week last week, energy is down as well. So everything except technology. Technology is carrying the load today. Growth looks okay. Discretionary versus staples is pretty much flat, but technology and semiconductors, that's where the action is today. Pretty clear on these charts. The breadth started to move up yesterday, but rolling over slightly today. We'll see if that continues. And then Russell 2000, pretty much flat versus the S&P, but the S&P is doing better than mid caps and better than small caps. So S&P is really where the action is. This is what it looks like. Also declined early on, trying to climb back, but not looking as good as the S&P right now. And then here's breadth for mid caps, continuing to head lower, and breadth for small caps also moving lower. And then the NASDAQ 100 going sideways, just like the S&P. Volume looks pretty good, though, but the VIX is starting to climb. So we have to keep an eye on this. VIX is starting to move higher right now. So let's take a look at a couple of things I want to show, and we'll start with the dashboard. Take a look at that. So there's the VIX. You see right there, moving higher, but still below 17. So that's okay. Bonds, 10-year is pretty much flat today. Commodity gold is moving down slightly. And crypto, Bitcoin is up 120,000 now for Bitcoin, looking really good. Ethereum is actually doing even better than Bitcoin. So we'll take a look at Ethereum. This is one of the questions somebody had today. So on the daily view, Ethereum had a little bit of a pullback right here, but starting to move higher right now. And on a weekly view, that's what it looks like. So one thing you can do in stock charts is let's look at Ethereum and relative to Bitcoin, because that was the basis of the question. Is Ethereum going to start to outperform Bitcoin? So let's look at it here. So this is how you do this in stock charts. You put the first symbol with a colon and then the second symbol. So that's showing them in relation to each other. And essentially what it means is if it's moving up, that means the first parameter is outperforming the second parameter. So from this period from May until end of August, Ethereum was outperforming Bitcoin. But since that time, Bitcoin has been outperforming Ethereum. So it's been the opposite. If we go back and look a little bit longer, you can see right here, Bitcoin was outperforming until right about April, right where the market bottomed. And then Ethereum was outperforming Bitcoin until August. And now it is underperforming. So the question is, will this continue? Will it continue to underperform, or is it going to turn around and start to outperform Bitcoin? I don't know the answer to that, but we can certainly see it when it happens. And right now it is pulling back, so it's taking a break. Right now, Bitcoin is outperforming. Don't know how long that will last, but we can watch it right there. We go to the charts page on the website. I think I have a Bitcoin Ethereum. Here's an Ethereum chart. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana all together. So right here, you can see Bitcoin is red, Solana is blue, and Ethereum is green. These all start back here at the rally from 2023, actually 2024. So this is what it looks like since the end of 2024, since basically September of 24. So about a year. So again, you can see Bitcoin is outperforming. Solana is actually doing as well as Bitcoin. It's pretty much paralleling it ever since right in here, ever since August. Solana actually is the one that looks like it is catching up and maybe even ready to outperform. And then Ethereum is lower, still lower than Bitcoin, still not outperforming. This is a 1-year chart. So if we change this, let's look at it for just the last 3 months and see what it looks like. So now in this case, last 3 months, Ethereum, right back here, they were equal. So it starts at 3 months ago. And in this case, for the last 3 months, Solana again is outperforming both of them. In this case, Ethereum is doing better than Bitcoin. So let's take a look at it for 6 months. Same thing. Solana is significantly outperforming. You can see Ethereum started to outperform right in through here in the July-August timeframe. And Ethereum now is doing better than Bitcoin for this period. So Bitcoin right now has been pretty much flat. Solana is the big winner, though, interestingly. Let's take it back a little bit further. Let's go back 9 months. So now if we go back 9 months, it's more similar to the 1-year period. You can see Solana now is actually doing better than Bitcoin over a 9-month period. Ethereum is still pulling up the rear. So most recently, if we take it way in, look at 1 month, now we've got Ethereum outperforming all of them. So right now, if you just look at 1 month, Ethereum is winning the race. Let's think of this as three runners running a race. So for a 1 month period, Ethereum is winning, even beating Bitcoin. If we go back 2 months, now we see Ethereum again is significantly beating Bitcoin and Solana. If we go back 3 months, this is where Solana actually is outperforming over a 3-month period. So in the very short term, Ethereum appears to be starting to really move and do better than Bitcoin is. So but that's a very short-term view. That could change very quickly, as you can see just by the way that we're looking at this. So Ethereum looks like it's getting stronger, but Solana actually looks stronger than that. And Solana is kind of paralleling Ethereum, but outperforming it. So that's pretty interesting. If I go back to, let me get back to the dashboard again. And I just want to see crypto. So you see Solana down here is doing a little bit better than Ethereum and Bitcoin today. So that's what that looks like. Today, kind of a mixture. Breadth is pretty weak. Looks like the quantum computing stocks are making a run today. Here's Cypher, somebody asked me about yesterday. That's starting to move up. That's a mining company. SoundHound, also somebody mentioned that yesterday. SoundHound, which is on the short list, which I've updated. That's what I was working on today. So SoundHound is starting to take off. That looks like yesterday would have been a great entry point for that. And it's continuing to go higher. Oklo, another one that's starting to move up. So might be a chance to take a position in Oklo. ALab, Astera Labs, is also, I think, on the short list. So those are the ones that look pretty good today. Rocket Lab is in there today. IonQ, that's also quantum computing. That's probably the biggest one. It's moving up. Here's a data center play. So this is why technology is really the big leader today. The bottom of the list, let's see if there's anything of interest down here. App 11, which started to move up, but now it's rolling over, heading down. Zeta, significantly heading down, continuing to do so. Arista Networks, one of the top 10 large cap technology stocks. ZEP which looked like it was starting to move higher. So that's what those look like. So let's take a look next at, I want to show you a scan that I created. And this one, let's see, where is that scan? This is the scan for, so what I did was as I showed yesterday, Schwab is behind. I talked to Schwab. They said it's their data provider, and their technical people are going to look into it, why it's so far behind for the short covering or short percent short. So I took the FinViz and I manually entered all of the stocks that match my scan for Schwab, which is they need to have volume over 200,000. They need to have more than 300 million in market cap, and they have to be more than 20% of the float needs to be short. So I created a chart list now, and now I'm searching both of these. The Schwab one, I think there's probably almost 100% overlap now between these two. I'll take a look at that later. But I'm looking for volume more than 1.2, more than 25% of its normal volume. Looking for the high, looking for the close to be near the high. So I don't want something that goes up and then goes all the way back down again. And then the close is higher than yesterday's close. So that's the scan right there. Since I just created this, I just created the watch list today, it's not going to appear on my schedule scan until tomorrow, but I'm going to run it and see what we get today. So there are the two for the short squeeze. This one right here is really interesting. Look at that. Let's look at the chart on this. BKKT. I looked into this a little bit, and they acquired a company. It's a Japanese company. They acquired a company that makes kimonos, and they've been around for, I don't know, 100 years, long time. And they acquired this company with this express purpose of turning the whole thing into a Bitcoin financial company, just like MicroStrategy. So that's why it's moving up like it is. So it started down here at about $12. In fact, if I look at this, when they made the announcement, when they acquired a kimono company, believe it or not. I mean, these are the kinds of things that imply that we're getting near a top of a bubble when these sort of things start to happen. But right here, it closed at $14, and today, right now, it is at $47. So in basically 2-week time frame, went from 14 to 47. And it's on, and it appeared today on the short squeeze list. So it's got more than 25% of more than 25% volume. So again, that is pretty interesting. So what was the other one that was on there? Semiconductor company. Let's look at that one. That one right there, starting to move up as well. If it gets up here to about $9, this is where lots of shorts are probably coming in, then it's going to probably continue to run higher. So that's on the short squeeze list today as well. The one that did appear on my list is AVXL. This one went up and then came back down. It's below its moving averages. So that one doesn't look as good as the ones I just showed you, which probably would appear on tomorrow's list. And the one that came in late yesterday is an interesting one, Novavax. So Novavax is on the short squeeze list. It started moving up with high volume yesterday, pulled back a little bit right now. But this is one to keep an eye on, because if it gets up here above $10, then there'll be a lot more shorts that are probably going to be covering. Goes all the way back here to, a year ago, more than a year ago, to get back to this level, and that's about 11. So I'm not sure those shorts are still in it, but these shorts right here certainly are. So could continue higher. One to keep an eye on. Short squeezes are very risky, so just understand what you're doing before you get into it. Anyway, we'll see how my new list works out as it starts to generate new ones tomorrow. One thing I want to point out, on the Technical Tuesday, I talked about the squeeze, how the squeeze is created, originally how it was created, how it's all put together. And then coincidentally, John Carter came out with a video yesterday explaining how to trade the squeeze. And it's not very long, So if you go out to YouTube and search for John Carter or simpler trading or the best way to trade the squeeze indicator, anything like that, you'll be able to find this. I highly encourage um, that you subscribe to the channel. And he occasionally, probably about once a month, comes out with some really good videos. But this one actually explains how to trade the squeeze. And there are some little gems in there that you have to listen really closely to really get them, really understand. One that he mentioned was he wants the moving averages to be stacked. So it's not just looking for a squeeze. Down here, all the dots are red. It's doing it with a stock that has been moving up. So when it comes out of the squeeze, it's going to go in the same direction that it had been going. So he wants all the moving averages to be stacked positive. The shorter ones at the top, the longer ones at the bottom. That was a pretty interesting little tidbit. The other thing he mentions in this is what a lot of people think is just because it's in a squeeze, that means it's going to explode higher. Well, it may, but you don't know when that's going to happen. The squeeze could be 1 dot. It could be 30 dots. You don't know how long the squeeze is going to be in that sideways pattern before it starts to move. He said that's a mistake that a lot of traders will make with the squeeze is they'll see a squeeze like a red dot, especially if they're trading options, and they'll buy out of the money options for a week later, and the squeeze ends up staying like that for 3 weeks straight. So their options expire worthless. So you have to give yourself the gift of time, as he mentions in the video. If you just buy the stock, then you can work through the gyrations as it goes up and down inside that sideways pattern and just wait for the breakout. But you don't know when that breakout's going to happen. It could be in 2 days, it could be in 3 weeks. So lots of really good, excellent information about how to trade the squeeze. I encourage you to go take a look at that. Very cool from John Carter. All right, that's about it. All I have for today. Let's take a look at the S&P. Actually, let's go back to here and look on the market bias page. And I want to take a look at the, here's the S&P. Let's see what it's doing right now. So gapped higher, pulling back, but not by much. You can see the flip line is right down here, not too far below, about 66.50. So it'll be interesting to see if it comes back down below that line. Right now, it still looks very bullish, extremely bullish. But notice the VIX down here starting to creep up. So we've got to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that VIX and see what it's doing. If we take a look at the NASDAQ 100, the flip line is also not too far down. And it's got a black candle, which means it's pulling back, but it's still above yesterday's close. So still pretty positive. And then if we look at the Russell 2000, that one is below the flip line. I really want to see what's going to happen because this is the first time, last few days, the first time since I've been tracking this flip line, when I first discovered it, that it's been below here. So so far, it's not really telling me much. So I'm not too impressed so far, but we'll see. We'll see what happens if the market really starts to move one way or the other. By the way, for subscribers, I actually put the flip line right. This gets updated every day at, I think, 8:30 at night. So the flip lines are right here for the 3 that I just showed you. And this little link actually explains what it's all about, explains what the gamma flip lines are. So if you want to learn more about it, just go check it out right there. And then finally, as I'm sure everybody wants to know, what does Bitcoin look like? So let's look at Bitcoin on here. Bitcoin had screamed higher yesterday and it continues to go higher today. So Bitcoin's looking really good, continuing up. It's at 120,000 right now. I don't see any indication that that might stop. A couple of stocks people asked me about. One was DocuSign. DocuSign falling off a cliff right now. September 4th was earnings. So that was way back here. So that does not look good. Momentum is down. DocuSign, I don't know if the question is, where's the bottom or when should I get in? But you can see that support is right down here at about 67. So it's likely going to go down there to about that 67 area. Whether it stays or continues to go lower, I don't know. I would wait for some confirmation that it's going to start to move higher before I'd get in. But it is that is the definition of a falling knife. Just looks like a falling knife. Here's the weekly, so a longer view. You can see right there just for the week, and we're in Thursday right now, so this is mostly today. It's down to the 200 week moving average. So this is an area where it likely will find solid support right in through here, probably about 65 to 67. It should find very solid support. That was the hit resistance there, hit it again there. This is about 65. Let me draw a line so you can see it. So right about, do it down here with the candles. Right about there, probably that's about 65 right there. So that's where major support is. If it cannot hold that, then it's likely going back down here to 40. So it's very risky right now. I would not be getting in at this point unless you keep tight stops. Get in and put a stop just below 65. Maybe that would work, but doesn't look too good. You can see higher lows. Lower highs as it continues to go down. So that is a definition of a downtrend. It's below the cloud. Definition of a downtrend. So DocuSign does not look good to me. The other one was Walmart. Walmart looks much better. This is a weekly chart. So Walmart is right up here getting ready to break out. So it's got a nice breakout all the way back from February. And looks like kind of a little cup and handle on the weekly chart. We look at it on the daily. So here's the breakout right here at about 104. So if it can get back up above 104, then it probably is going to continue to go higher. Right now, it's just consolidating sideways. So not making much movement one way or the other. If you're looking to get in, this might be a good place. It's got a hammer so far today. We'll see if that lasts into the end of the day. But right now, Walmart, it looks okay. Momentum is starting to fall over. It's got a squeeze, daily squeeze right now. There's the hammer right at the 50. So this is the area where it might start to bounce. But in general, it just looks like a sideways movement to me. All right, so that's everything that people asked about. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Please like and subscribe, or just hit that like button. Please watch John Carter's video. It's a great video. It interestingly coming right on the heels of my Technical Tuesday about the squeeze, but he actually talks about how to actually trade the squeeze. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.